Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Justin Rangel, 7.
All right, you have two matters. The first one is your probation violation. You're on probation for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 1 and 7. You also failed to appear for your hearing. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next court date will be on October 2nd at 8:30 for a non-witness violation hearing. I set a $900 bond on that. Now, the next one, you didn't go to court for new charges of one count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. Again, you already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I set a $2,500 bond on that.
Your Honor, I know both of my court dates, the 25th and 27th. I was there all day yesterday, and no one came to see me. My attorney, nobody. I was there from 8:29 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. all day yesterday. I don't know if they sent me to the wrong courtroom or whatever. I was in 2A. That's what they said.
Well, I have the warrant issued.
It was from yesterday, Your Honor, from court yesterday. I was there all day, Your Honor. Signed in, waited, left 3 messages with my attorney while I was there.
Was your attorney with you?
I was waiting on her the whole time. They said to wait outside the courtroom and that she would come and speak with me. And I waited there all day. No one came and speak with me. No one called me. So I thought I was supposed to come the Friday, the 27th, for the preliminary hearing. And that's just what I thought happened. I mean, I was there literally all day, Your Honor. Signed in, checked in, called my attorney 2 times, 3 times yesterday, left messages, and nothing. So, I mean...
How did you get arrested?
Literally was walking down the street, and they stopped me. Crosswalk and everything. Stopped me, ran my name, saw I had a warrant for that same day. That's horrible. So, like, I made sure I knew my court dates, the 25th, 8:30, and the 27th at 8:30. Status conference on the 25th, 27th was preliminary hearing. Correct?
You say you signed in?
Yes, at 8:29 a.m.
Where did you sign in?
When you check in the front, 2nd floor. And then they sent me to courtroom 2A, is where they said to wait for my attorney. Yeah, so I was literally there all day. I made sure I was there, both 25th and then Friday the 27th, Your Honor. So
I need to check in on who signed in. If I move this.
Want to move to the end, call them back, and then I'll see if I can call this one.
Can we call? All right, here's what I'm going to do.
Yes,
I'm going to move this to another calendar, and we're going to see if you signed in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So we can move it to the 2.
So if in fact you can prove and everything I was there.
I can't hear you.
So if in fact you can prove I was there and I signed in and everything.
It's not going to be in front of me. It'll be another judge. Okay?
Yeah.
But I'll explain it to them, what I'm doing, why I'm moving it.
Okay.
Okay? All right, go have a seat. Clyde Young, come on in. To the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Clyde Young.
You've got a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated Term 1, 3, 6, 11, and 21. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, October 3rd at 8:30. I've set a $900 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours.
Okay.
Okay, get your paperwork from the court staff.
Ma'am, may I say something?
Uh-huh.
I was arrested for a probation violation back in June, I believe it was, and
You have a what?
I was arrested in June for a probation violation,
Uh-huh.
and I went to the Mesa court, and they told me that my probation was alleviated, like it was
They
dismissed.
told you your probation was what?
Dismissed.
No, it's not.
That's what they told me at Mesa.
Well,
so I was
unless you have paperwork that you
Yeah,
can
I have-
say that, you've got a warrant out for your arrest from June 4th.
Right, that's what I got arrested for, the same warrant.
Well, talk to your lawyer about it, but according to the records I have, your probation was not dismissed. And in fact, that they have several violations.
What are the violations? I don't know.
One, that you got new charges, assault, disorderly conduct. One that you haven't reported, that you were discharged from Prodigy Healthcare. You didn't complete your counseling that you were supposed to. So, given that, I highly doubt they would have dismissed your probation.
No, it says,
All right, get your paperwork, go have a seat.
when I got arrested though, they didn't.
You got your paperwork.
Harriet, come on in.
All right.
Dylan Gartner to the chair outside the courtroom. Ma'am, state your name and date of birth.
Harriet Patrick.
You've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 1, 3, 4, and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, October 3rd at 8:30. I've set a $500 bond. If you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay, get your paperwork from the court staff. Dylan Gartner, come on in, and Naomi Charlie to the chair outside the courtroom.
How you doing, Your Honor?
State your name and date of birth.
Dylan Tanner Gardner, 0.
All right, you have 4 matters. The first one is a justice court new case alleging one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Okay.
I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, October 1st at 1 o'clock. And I've set a $250 bond on that.
Okay.
Then you've got a bunch of cases where you didn't go to court, failures to appear. The first one alleges one count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $500 bond on that. The next one that you didn't go to court alleges one count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30, set a $500 bond. Then lastly, you've got another failure to appear. This alleges one count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30, and again, I set a $500 bond.
Okay.
Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Thank you, ma'am.
Naomi Charlie, come on in. Brandon Howard to the chair outside the courtroom.
Head up, please.
State your name and date of birth.
Naomi Charlie.
You have a Superior Court new case for one count of criminal trespass in the first degree of a residential structure, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. I've set a $200 bond. No returning to the alleged scene of the crime.
Okay.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Brandon Howard to the chair, or to the courtroom, and Ray Alexandre to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Brandon Michael Howard,
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 10th at 8:30. Going to release you to pretrial services with drug testing and monitoring.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't miss court.
I won't.
See all the people that failed to appear, then they get a bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Ray, come on in. State your name and date of birth.
Ray Alejandre,
Superior Court new case alleging one count of possession of narcotic drug, class 4 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 10th at 8:30. I'm going to release you to pretrial services with drug testing and alcohol testing. Don't miss court.
okay.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the second one that you have is an arrest warrant. This alleges one count of aggravated DUI with a passenger under the age of 15. One kind of aggravated DUI with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or more with a passenger under the age of 15, class 6 felony. And then one kind of exceeding the posted speed limit by greater than 20 miles per hour, class 3 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 10th at 8:30. I'm going to release you to pretrial services with alcohol and drug testing. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork from the court staff.
Thank you.
Donald Mundy, come on in. Patrick Glasgow to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Donald Mundy,
Is this the only thing you're here on?
yes, ma'am, I'm HIV. They put me on antidepressants on the way home from work.
Okay,
I
just,
passed
wait.
out.
Stop. Let me have a second. I just want to know because I was planning on releasing you.
Yeah, I don't
But-
know why I'm here.
But I don't want to release you if you're serving time on something else because then you wouldn't get credit for this.
No, I'm not
This
serving
is
time on
the
nothing.
only thing you're in on.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I'm clean.
let me go through this, and then if you have a question,
All right.
but I'm going to release you. Okay, you have a justice court new case for criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. That's a class 3 misdemeanor, so you're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, October 10th at 8:30. I'm just going to release you on your promise to go to court. Now, is there anything else you want to tell me?
Yeah, they put me on, CBI put me on antidepressants. I took it after work, and I
Well,
work
this
in
is
the
just
sun.
for criminal trespass.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the sidewalk.
Oh, okay.
That's what they gave me, criminal trespassing. The EMT
Yeah.
showed up, and I couldn't move. They called the police, and next thing you know, I wake up inside jail.
Okay.
And I was on
Well,
my
talk
way to Cass.
Talk to the next judge that you're going to see. It's not going to be me because it's a misdemeanor. All right?
Yeah.
And it'll show you where you got to go. All right? All right. Good luck to you. Patrick Glasgow, come on in. America Palacios to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Patrick Glasgow, 09.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging 2 counts of armed robbery with a deadly weapon, class 2 felonies. 1 count of burglary in the 1st degree, class 2 felony. 1 count of kidnapping, class 4 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30. Set a $250,000 cash bond. Now, do you have a question?
Yes. Can I make a, cause
Can you make what?
cause I want to make a promise to the court, cause I don't have that type of money and I just had a kid born, and it's been hard. I'm
Yeah,
asking.
you have some real serious charges
Yeah,
here,
but
so.
I can take a polygraph to all of it, and it's not.
I urge you to talk to your lawyer, but the bond's going to stay that way. No returning to the alleged scene of the crime, no contact with any of the victims, no contact with your co-defendant.
Can I, cause I want to make a promise to the court, if I ever got released, can
Can you what?
make a promise to the court, if I ever got released?
Nope, you're not, I'm not going to lower the bond on these. You're
No,
looking-
I'm not asking you.
These are very serious crimes.
No, I'm not asking you to lower the bond. I'm asking you if I can work to pay that bond off, because don't nobody in my family got that type of money.
Well, you can't work while you're in the jail.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how.
All right,
Is there any
get
way
your
I can,
paperwork, sir.
Is there any way I can fight this?
Pardon?
Is there any way I can fight this?
Well, you have an attorney, so I've appointed you a lawyer, so I urge you to talk with your lawyer about the charges, okay?
When would I talk to her? Or-
Well, I don't know if you'll be able to talk to them before your next court date, but at least at your next court date, which is October 2nd, that's next week, you'll meet whoever your attorney is going to be.
Okay.
All right. Get your paperwork. America, come on in. State your name and date of birth.
America Palacios.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging 2 counts of armed robbery with a deadly weapon, 1 count of burglary in the first degree. Those are all Class 2 felonies. 1 count of kidnap, Class 4 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30. Set a $250,000 cash bond. No contact with the alleged victim, no returning to the alleged scene of the crime, and no contact with any co-defendant. All right, Clint Schumacher, come on in, and then Jacob Gutierrez to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Shoemaker?
Okay, sir, you've got 2 fugitive of justice warrants. One is from the state of Washington, and one is from the state of Texas.
Okay.
Okay? The Texas one is for a probation violation, and then the Washington one is from an assault charge.
Okay.
Did you get the laminated paperwork to read prior to coming to court?
Yes.
Okay. And did you read it?
Yes.
Okay. You have a choice to make at this time. You can choose to waive your right.
I don't want to waive my rights.
Okay. Let me just go through it, okay?
Mm.
You can waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to either Washington or Texas, whoever would go first. Or you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states. It would be Arizona, Washington, and Texas before they can send you back. Now, if you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, you will be held non-bondable in the Maricopa County Jail for a period of up to 30 days to allow time for the state to come get you. That 30 days would start tomorrow, as long as you do not have any criminal charges pending against you in Arizona. If you do have criminal charges pending against you in Arizona, the 30-day period would not start until those charges are resolved. Now, you're telling me you want to choose to have your extradition hearing. Well, so that's going to happen your next hearing will be on October 7th at 1:30. Now, I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you on either of these because extradition matters are civil in nature. But you would have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense. Now, on one of these, I'm going to set a bail amount. On the other one, you're not bailable because it's a probation violation, okay?
Okay.
A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states requiring to extradite you can take up to 30 days, okay? So you're telling me you do not want to waive your right, is that correct?
Right.
No. Okay. So on the first one, that's a probation violation. You're not going to waive your right, but you're non-bailable. So you can't bail out. On the second one, you are bailable, and I'm going to make it $10,000 cash. You're not going to waive your right. And your next hearing that you're going to have is October 7th at 1:30, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, court staff will bring you your paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, sir, state your name and date of birth.
Jacob Gutierrez,
All right, you've got two matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case here in Maricopa. This alleges one count of armed robbery, Class 2 felony, one count of aggravated robbery, Class 3 felony, one count of shoplifting, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, and I've set a $250,000 cash bond on this case. Now, the next one is a fugitive of justice warrant. This is from the state of New Mexico. Now, did you get the laminated paperwork to read prior to coming to court? Is that a yes or no?
yes.
And did you read the paperwork?
No, I didn't.
You did not read it?
No.
Okay, well then we'll take time for you to read it. You can go over and
No,
take time to read the
I can't
paperwork.
read it.
Pardon?
I can't read it right now.
You can't remember?
I can't read it right now.
You can't read it right now?
Yeah, I can't read it.
Why can't you read it right now?
So I can't read.
Because you what?
I can't read. I can't
You can't
understand
read? Okay. Well, is it possible that you would be able to make the bond on the case that I just sent, $250,000
No.
cash?
No.
Okay, so this is what we'll do. Because this one is a no bond warrant, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through this a little bit and I'll explain it to you. But I don't think you should waive your rights right now. You should wait because you're going to have an attorney on the first case. And maybe you can talk to them about this fugitive of justice warrant as well, okay? Because it's a parole violation. You're not going to be able to get out anyways on this, okay? So the two options that you have are waiving your right to an extradition hearing, and you normally would be able to go back to the state within 30 days, New Mexico, but because you have the pending charges, that clock would not start until those charges are completed. Or you can say, no, I'm not going to waive your right, which is what we're going to do, and then they're going to have a governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states, New Mexico and Arizona, before they can send you back. Now, that can take up to 90 days. But again, you wouldn't go back to New Mexico until these other charges that you have are resolved, okay? So I can't appoint you an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil. You would have the right to hire your own attorney. But I am giving you an attorney on the new charges.
Okay.
So you may be able to talk to them about this case as well, okay?
Okay.
A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states requiring you to be extradited can take up to 90 days. So within 90 days, you might have your local charges resolved. You may not. I don't know. But at least you'll be getting some time, your credit, on some of this time while you're being held on the new charges.
Okay.
Okay? All right. They're going to bring you your paperwork for you, okay? All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your attorney is on the line, okay? All right. Let me just take a look at this NOA. All right. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
David Escamilla.
And counsel for Mr. Escamilla. Please announce.
Yes, Your Honor, Michelle Skura, counsel for David Escamilla, who's in custody this morning.
Okay, and counsel for the state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Garcia on behalf of the state.
Okay. Counsel for Mr. Escamilla, I did look at your NOA, and will you be retained, or do I need to appoint him counsel?
No, Your Honor, I'm going to be retained.
Okay. All right. Sir, you're here on a Superior Court new case alleging 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor and then 10 other counts of sexual exploitation of a minor under A2 and A1, just two different ways to charge the case. Those are Class 2 felonies. And then 3 counts of sexual conduct with a minor. That's a Class 2 felony as well. You have an attorney that you've hired to represent you. And then, counsel, did you want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, regarding bond, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, and I just want to verify, is the bond amount the $250 unsecured?
Well, I haven't set one yet. I know that the state is recommending, at least what I have seen, they're recommending a $250,000 cash bond.
Correct. Yeah, that's pretty normal for these cases. But, Your Honor, I would ask that the court allow my client to at least have a secured bond. He does have an Eighth Amendment right to bond that is reasonable. My client, I know, has had a prior, but it was a lower form of felony, which I understand that he's successfully completing probation on. My office has been retained for the last year on this. He's been in contact with my office. He is not a flight risk, and he is employed. So I know that he has family that he can stay with. He will not be around children. And once again, we've been retained. My client intends to fight this and hopefully exonerate himself.
Okay. Counsel, when I'm looking at the financial information form that I received, it says that your client is unemployed.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I talked to his brother last night, so I have information from his brother.
Okay. And then counsel for the state.
Your Honor, we would just submit on the written recommendation.
Pardon?
We would just submit on the written recommendation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your next court hearing is going to be on October the 2nd at 8:30 for a status conference. Given that we have both hands-off and hands-on offenses, I am going to go with the cash bond of $250,000. Pursuant to Arizona law, if you post that bond, you must be on electronic monitoring. You are to have no contact with any minors. Do you have any children? Okay. And no access to the internet. I will allow you to use it. I know you're not working now, but if you do get a job, if you post bond and you do get a job, I will allow that for work only. All right. Anything else from either counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep.
Thank you.